All right, let's talk about a feeling that, well, most of us know, but we don't always talk about. It's that specific kind of dread that just creeps in right before a big family gathering. If you've ever felt that, you might be surprised to find out there's some real science behind why it happens.
So imagine this. You're going about your day, you glance at your phone, and this pops up, a simple calendar notification. And on the surface, it's totally harmless, right? It's just family. But for so many of us, the reaction isn't joy. It's something else entirely.
You know what I'm talking about. It's that physical feeling, that sudden drop in your stomach, that little knot of anxiety. If you've ever felt that and thought, ugh, what's wrong with me? I promise you, you are not alone.
Yeah, let's just get this straight right from the very start. You are not broken. Dreading a family get-together doesn't make you a bad son or daughter or cousin. It just makes you human. And today, we're going to dig into the psychology that explains what's actually going on in your brain.
So let's kick things off with our first big idea. I like to call it your brain on forced fun, because it turns out not all socializing is created equal, and your brain knows the difference.
Okay, this contrast right here is key. On one side, you've got chosen socialization, hanging out with friends you actually vibe with. It's voluntary, it's energizing. But on the other side, you have obligatory socialization. And the fact that you're not choosing to be there, that one little detail changes the entire game. Suddenly it's draining, it's super high stress, and it triggers a genuine stress response in your body. And this is the part that's kind of wild. This isn't just you being dramatic. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between, oh no, I have to listen to my uncle's political rants again, and oh no, a tiger is chasing me. The involuntary nature of the event signals to your brain that something is wrong, and it puts your entire body on high alert. It literally treats it like a threat. Okay, so let's go to our next idea because this builds on it. It's not just about being forced to go. It's about who you're forced to be there with and what that does to your sense of self. It's like stepping into an emotional time machine. You ever feel like you revert to being a teenager the second you walk through your childhood front door? Well, there's a name for that. It's called family systems theory. And the basic idea is that from a very young age, we all get cast in these specific roles within our family. And these roles, they are powerful and they are incredibly hard to escape.
Do any of these sound a little familiar? Maybe you were always the peacemaker, trying to keep everyone happy. Or maybe you were the golden child, the one who could do no wrong. Or, hey, maybe you were cast as the screw-up or the black sheep. The thing is, when you all get together, you're not just showing up as your adult self. You're getting sucked right back into that old, familiar role. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It doesn't matter if you're a CEO or a brain surgeon in your day-to-day life. One little offhand comment from a parent or a sibling can instantly zap you back in time, and suddenly you're feeling and reacting just like you did when you were 14.
So, let's recap. You're in a stressful situation that your body thinks is a threat, and you feel like you're your teenage self again. So what do? Well, you perform. You put on a mask, and you begin the absolutely exhausting work of what we call emotional labor. I mean, just think about it for a second. Have you ever gotten home from a family dinner and felt like you just ran a marathon, even though you were literally just sitting on the sofa for 3 hours? That exhaustion is so real, and it comes from the incredible amount of mental energy you just had to spend.
Because you weren't just being there. Oh no, you were basically running a full-blown, sophisticated PR campaign for yourself. You were managing your emotions, you were laughing at jokes that weren't really funny, and you were carefully dodging conversational landmines left and right. That is a performance, and it is draining.
And on top of all that, there's another layer. Family gatherings often turn into what you might call a comparison festival. This is all driven by something called social comparison theory, which is basically our hardwired natural human instinct to figure out how we're doing by measuring ourselves against other people. And well, family provides a very convenient, lifelong measuring stick.
Now, what's so fascinating is what this constant comparing actually does to our brains. As you can see here, studies using brain scans show that the feeling of being less than somebody else, it activates the exact same regions of the brain that process physical pain. So that little pang of hurt you feel when your cousin talks about their new promotion, that's not in your head. Your brain processes it like you just stubbed your toe, hard.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the why. We know it's stressful, we know it's regressive, we know it's exhausting. The big question is, what can you actually do about it? Let's shift gears from the problem to some practical, empowering solutions. A survival guide, if you will. The most important thing here is to reframe how you think about this. This isn't about avoiding your family. This is about self-preservation. It's about protecting your own well-being. So give yourself an out. Set a time limit before you even go. Have an escape plan ready. Have a friend you can text for a little reality check in the middle of it all. And maybe, just maybe, redefine what family time even means. Maybe it's a quiet coffee with your mom instead of the whole chaotic circus. And that really brings us to the most important point of all. The one thing I want you to take away from this. You do not owe anyone your mental health, not even family. Prioritizing yourself isn't selfish, it's survival. So the next time that calendar notification pops up, just remember, you have choices, and taking care of yourself is always the most important one you can make.